Joseph, the old blacksmith, still works for Brian Stein at Bronte Forge. At his open hearth fire and anvil, he makes all manner of tools, including chisels and decorative ironwork. Designs are drawn on a piece of wood, the metal is heated in the fire, forged at the anvil to shape, and laid on top of the design to make sure the shape is right. Some examples are shown which includes 2 roses. It's often the wish of a customer to include the white rose of Yorkshire in his gate. With many years of experience, the smith can judge the temperature of metal in a chisel by looking at the colour of the steel and making the cutting edge hard and sharp, whilst leaving the rest of the chisel soft. He's also an artist, which shows as he produces 2 sets of petals for a rose. The choice of the size and shape of the hammer he uses is critical. Also the reheating of the metal as it cools. Joseph begins to work the metal for the rose. It is finally completed by riveting the inner and outer petals together. Further examples include leaves which are also used in the design of many gates. With the closure of much of the iron and steel industry in this country, it's becoming more and more difficult to obtain the high-grade iron and steel used by Joseph when he was learning his trade in Austria. Much of the iron he worked with at this time came from the Low Moor ironworks in Bradford and was reputed as some of the best in the world. As work on the bar progresses, the shape of a leaf appears, and with deft strokes of the hammer, veins in the leaf are produced. Combinations of all these parts can be made into screens, small spiral staircases, and even domestic furniture. Before electric arc welding and oxyacetylene welding, Two pieces of steel were welded together by heating the ends of the bars in the fire and forging them together, as Joseph demonstrates. Metallurgical tests show that the joints are as good and strong as other types of welding, depending on the skill of the blacksmith. Potential customers are shown photographs of completed work which can be seen in situ. Large gates, such as those at Keighley Parish Church, testify to the skill of Bronte forge. The gate opening is measured when the customer has placed the order. Steel bar is cut to length to make the frame, and Joseph starts work on the scrolls and lettering for the words White Gables, which will fit on the top of the gate. However skillful a blacksmith may be, it would be almost impossible, even with a template drawn on wood, to produce a number of exactly identical scrolls which would stand critical examination. So a jig or a former is used to mould the scrolls round. The bar is heated at regular intervals to make it soft enough to follow the curvature of the former, so that when it cools, it will maintain its shape. The framework is laid on a flat surface. The sides, top and bottom are carefully laid out in the form of a square, and the square frame is carefully checked by measuring diagonally across the corners. When the two dimensions are equal, the frame will be square and ready for tack welding. A tack weld is a temporary weld which will hold the pieces together in the right place. Using spacers, the first vertical bar is put in position and tack welded, followed by more vertical bars. Soon the first scroll is tacked in position, followed by the name Gables, which will go on the top of the gate. In times past, all the parts of a gate would be bolted or riveted together. Now they are welded, and with the gate in a vertical position to prevent distortion, the final weld run is made. With the lugs, latches and support posts made, the gates are taken to the site for erection. With the skill and expertise of the old blacksmith, combined with modern methods of fixing the parts together by electro-arc welding, the customer has gates to be proud of.